this episode, we tackle some iconic and tough Victorian high country tracks. We traverse pristine mountain streams and seek out solitude at secluded mountain campsites. Come on the journey with us and experience some of the high country's finest offerings. A cracking little spot on the river there, all on our own. That's what we're trying to achieve. We're going to head up into the masses now. There's another campsite there. So now we're going to head up high. I'll just have a poke around actually while we're here, see if we were in the best spot or not. Camp up around the Devil's Hollow if we can find some solitude. If not, we'll keep going until we can. So from the bottom of King's Spur, there's about 4 or 5 crossings of the Dargo River to make your way into Mayford, which is what we did yesterday. So we're actually turned around now and heading back out. So it's an in and an out, one way. And we're actually heading out. A bit of a slow start, pushing 11 o'clock, but we're in no hurry. We don't have far to go. And it was a lovely spot. Don't want to get caught in wet weather. That could be challenging, getting out again. You'd have to sit it out, I think. But great spot, great camping. We'll be back, I reckon. Just ducked downstream of the King's Spur track where it hits the river. We poked in to have a look at a potential campsite down there, which there was one. But you've got to pass through all this wind blow. And it's tight as. And where it's been cut, it's to suit a chimney, not a Iveco. We run over the lad then. There's a bit of upheave going on with the trees and there's some massive holes that I'm trying to dodge, plus the tree roots. Very tight. And I've got to articulate the truck to fit around some of the bends. Got a fair turning circle, the old truck. Those trees are that big, they're not going to budge. Just picking up sticks and things as we go. That was tight, that one. Got around it in one hit though. Now, here's one of these chimney cuts. Ooh, it's tight. What do you reckon, Mum? Am I going to miss it?
No, you're right, you're right. Yep. You're right. Good.
So now the climb out up King's Spur from Dargo River, heading out of Mayford, straight into it as soon as you leave the river. It's pretty narrow for the most part, so you get up the top of the spur and broadens out, but yeah, limited passing opportunities. we noticed on the way down. So I've got the radio on scan. I'll have a listen. It's only good if there's anyone on it. And I'm actually just got the center diff lock in. I think generally there's pretty good traction. And oh, it's tight. And low third to start with. We'll see how that goes. If we need to go a bit slower, roughness, we can top it down a cog or two, but in terms of gradient, low 3 will climb a brick wall. Sometimes if you've got to back the revs off a bit, you just can't quite catch up. A bit of turbo lag there won't kick in enough and drop the pack of cog. But anyway, up we go. The climb itself's probably only about 4k, maybe 5. That's where it's handy with this HEMA app on the screen, the big screen, the Alpine head unit. I often get asked about that. I don't think it's available anymore, the Alpine unit. I can't even see the model number. Can't remember. I'll find it. I'll put a link in the description below. But it came with the HEMA Maps pack on the unit. No extra charge. I'm sure there's any capability to update the maps, but well, they're there. It's got all the HEMA full suite all around Australia. It's a pretty good bit of gear. So yeah, coming up through country like this, it's a big enough screen to be able to see well in advance where you're going. As you're cresting the rollovers, just that slight change of pace, the dust that's following behind just comes up and engulfs us in this big cloud of dust. So, very dry. Switch back here. Nothing coming. Another one, 2 on top of each other. Some ripper rollovers, that's for sure. Some of them are that steep you can't see what's over this other side of them. I hope there's something there. Along this King Spur, burnt in about 2003 fires, I think. 2003 fires. And it's actually really knocked this bit of bush around. So that's 20 odd years, over 20 years ago. And it hasn't recovered. It's minimal regen. It's just a forest of grey ghosts. Just nuked it. Quite sad, really. It would have been such a nice bit of bush, just destroyed. It looks like whatever's grown back is a lower, scrubby stuff. There's effectively no canopy at all now in the forest. We're up quite high, we're at only 1,400 metres, so in snow gum territory. It's just cooked. we've landed ourselves an absolute cracking campsite. I've actually never camped here before. It's become synonymous of recent times. It's marked on some maps, but it's not a formal rec site, I don't think. And it is just certainly one of the best views in the high country. And to that end, if you recall a while ago, I got this Peak Finder app. Use your app, it can pick out all the peaks. We can even see Kosciuszko over there, that's what it says. Cobras, Pilot, Mount Murray, Mount Kosciuszko. Oh, why don't you have a look? Here I am banging on about it, have a look for yourself. Out there, Mount Kosciuszko. Sure you'll be able to see it. Line up the horizon, all the peaks get named. Turn around, the Knocker, Kosciuszko. We've set ourselves up here, got the camper set up, the lad's got his swag set up out the back there. This is our view for the night. Hope it doesn't get too windy, as Big Dan said. Be a great spot until the wind picks up. It's not forecast to be windy, but I do expect a bit of a draft to pick up as the sun starts settling and the warm air starts rising and cold air starts taking its place. But for now, this is a cracker of a spot. We'll have a little fire here and just kick back. The sun's going to go down behind the High Plains Road there, so we probably won't have a great sunset. So this is Devil's Hollow here. You can see all the way to Kosciuszko on a good day, like today. Part of our mission for this trip was to have some solitude and remote campsites. So, hey, it's remote. Solitude, yeah, I'm going to give it a tick. There is people camped 100 metres either side of us. We're only 50 metres off the road. No one camped within arm's reach of us. We can do our thing without bothering anyone and nobody's bothering us. Objective complete. We can just take all this in. This is awesome. Absolutely awesome. Devil's Hollow. Fire either. It's only dinner time.
Chicken, Mexican.
Mexican chicken. Oh, it's cooling down. Just had a feed of, what were they? Fajitas. Fajitas. Warm the cockle of our hearts. Quite a bit of kick. Just what we need. It's cooling right off. Might have to put some long pants on. It's not that cold. No, we can't, it's summer. We can't put long pants on. So we just got the sun going down over the back here. We're watching the shadow increase across the range in front of us. It's getting on a bit, it's after 8. It's going down there, it's going to come up. We might have a bit of a sunrise view in the morning. It's saying it's Mount Nels. Just about done for the day. Stoke the fire up, get a bit of warmth into us because it's actually cooled down big time. The heat's dropped out of the day, that's for sure. And we're having to put a layer or two on, rug up. So we got up here about lunchtime to this campsite, Devil's Hollow, and chilled out basically all afternoon. Just took in the view, a slight breeze, but it was very comfortable. Bit of traffic wandering past, but I still think we found some solitude. You know, the nearest neighbours are still some distance away. You can see a car out the back there behind me, so that's as close as anybody's got to us. Can't hear anyone farting anyway, so that's probably not too bad. Separation. If all goes to plan tomorrow, we'll see a nice sunrise out here. And then we'll pack up. Probably get going reasonably early, because if we're up early enough to see the sunrise, then we'll keep that momentum up and head up to Blue Rag. I'll be up there by smoko time. I reckon we'll still find a bit of solitude, but we're going to have to work for it tomorrow, I reckon. Work a bit harder for it. Got to do the dishes now and probably put another layer or two on and watch the last of the glow of the sun and then park it up for the night. So we'll catch you tomorrow. Here's a fire lighting tip for you. Sometimes you don't have to be a bushcrafting guru. Sometimes you just get it done. Pick the method to suit the day, suit the conditions, suit your attitude. Kindling we prepared earlier. One thing you'll find camping up here using this snow gum as firewood is that there's no heat in it. It's a very inefficient wood. You'll get there, boil your belly, but it'll take a long time, or a lot longer. It just doesn't hold the heat. It's really not even throwing the heat out. But it's better than nothing. There you go. Don't go past the old redhead. Oh, what a cracking morning. We had a nice sunrise out here. We had the side of the camper unzipped and just laying there watching it. I reckon it's before 5 o'clock, and then bombed out to sleep again. Another cracking day though, up in the high country. We've got the fire going, belly's on for the cuppa and for the thermos. So I reckon we'll be packed up in a reasonable time and find another high elevation site for smoko. That's the plan. See what's on offer in Archie's Cafe. Then we'll start tackling a bit of steeper country down into the Crooked River from Blue Rag. Bit of homemade marmalade. Good stuff. What do you want on the next one, lad?
Some jam, please.
Do you want the mould in it as well? Homemade plum jam. Blood plum jam. Pretty simple breakfast, but bloody good though. Well, we've picked a cracking day to head up Blue Rag. Barely a cloud in the sky, a little bit on the horizon, but that's about it. It's not the earliest of starts, but if all goes to plan, we should be up there in time for a bit of smoko, or we'll have smoko when we get there. whatever comes first. The first bit of blue rags chopped out pretty bad actually on the rollovers. Just dropped the rear diff lock in just to make it a bit easier on the truck. And just going to wander up. I'm in low second. It's just a little bit, I'm going to cock a leg or two so it just makes it a little bit easier. Don't have to go to too much effort that way. Straight off the main road. Boom! I suppose it's everybody trying to get their eye in. Maybe they haven't adjusted everything quite right. But be warned, people, it happens straight away. As soon as you leave the bitumen, be ready for it. No, it's no bitumen. As soon as you leave the main road, boom, you're into it. The old track's pretty chopped out actually. There's some huge wombat holes. It's just about picking the line though. That's what Mogul's mum says, yeah. So pick the line, like I said, I've got the rear diff lock in, just gives the vehicle a bit more traction if it cocks a back wheel. You don't sort of launch. Bit of traffic around, so we've got to sort of stop and start every now and again. That's alright, gives you a chance to sort of scope out the next bit of track and work out your line. One of the good things about blue rag from a driving point of view is you can see a long way. You can see any vehicles, for the most part, coming the other way. For instance, we got a section up here that's side cut, the only side cut section of note on the track, and there's really limited to no passing opportunity, and we can actually see there's a vehicle on its way down now. It's still a fair way off, but we'll be able to wait at the bottom and sort of effectively see the top before we launch into that side cut section. So yeah, you just poke along, take your time, have a look, have a listen even, look for dust on a day like today. Gives you a bit of a idea there might be a vehicle coming over the brow, and there's no shortage of vehicles coming today, that's for sure. The old side cut section between the road and Basalt North track, probably the last climb up to Basalt North, no traffic. It's pretty chopped out. It's nothing too hard though. I just had a little bit of rear diff lock in and a car behind me. Just the rear diff lock in just to give me some traction and easy. Further out blue rag you go, the more the view just opens out in front of you. This last one of these last little pinches is actually quite chopped out. So once again, I've just thrown in the rear diff lock and low second. Just pick me line. There's no shortage of traction, it's just trying to keep the wheels on the ground. Try not to get distracted with the view. number one cameraman's doing an awesome job walking up a lot of the hills. It's off to the lad. This last pinch, probably the steepest of the track. Plenty of traction though, it's almost solid rock. Just about picking the line, try and keep the wheels on the ground. Certainly standing up on its back. Dropped it down to first gear for this one, just so we can go a bit slower. Everyone's holding on. Mum just grabbed onto the seat just a little bit tighter. Which is fair enough. Great view out there. Years ago I had cause to do something very unusual on this track, and well, unusual for most people I suppose, but I actually landed just back there, saddle in a helicopter. Don't get to do that too often. Work purposes. Very fortunate. Great experience. Well, the busiest week of the year, and we are on Blue Rag, and there's no one else here. We got it to ourselves. I reckon we found a little bit of solitude, albeit I reckon it's probably only 5 minutes. I can see some vehicles coming up the track behind us, and someone just left. But we're here on our own, so that's awesome. Blue Rag, and it's a great day for it too. Bloody great views. Barely a cloud in the sky. Well, there's a few, but nice clear skies. A little bit of a breeze, which is good, keeps the marchies away. How fortunate are we, eh? But it's going to get even better, because the lad, we've got Archie's cafe set up over there. The lad's apparently going to make us some iced coffees. Let's go and see what that's all about. Oh. Oh, that's not fair. How is it?
You won't like it.
How good's this? Iced coffee on the top of Blue Rag. Even got a single-use plastic straw in there. We'll throw that in the bush when we're done. All to ourselves. Cheers. Thanks, lad. Archie's Cafe. serves it up again. That's pretty good.
Sad because I'm not driving.
Well, blue rag, had it to ourselves. I feel like there's an onslaught of vehicles on their way. Could see some dust and a fair bit of radio traffic. So, apart from the first couple of minutes, we had it to ourselves for the entirety of Smoko, which was pretty good Smoko too, I might add. The lad opened up the cafe and turned it on. It's going to struggle to match that in the future, I think. So set the bar pretty high. Anyway, we're going to wander back. We'll just slowly, we'll be able to see any vehicles coming our way. I can see one out the back there, another one further on over there. Good little campsite just there. You don't mind the dust. Well, we've just turned off Blue Rag onto Basalt North, and I suspect we've left the traffic behind because, goodness me, it got thick. There was groups of 10 or 12 in that short stint between Basalt North and the summit of Blue Rag Trig Point. It would have been 20-25 vehicles easily. Fortunately, the stance of the truck can be a bit intimidating and most people get out of your way. So we had a bit of clear passage really. We appreciate everyone that's getting out of the way. It is probably a bit harder to poke off places. Oh, spoke too soon. There's another vehicle with dogs. Had to breathe in a little bit back there just to squeeze in. There was a bit of an off camber step and it was getting pretty close to the outside edge. Hang on. Basalt North though tends to be quite tight with the veg, quite overgrown, so in stripes are expected, but not desired. But oh well, if we want to be here, that's what we've got to deal with. Pretty tight going through here. We just nearly had a head on with a couple of motorbikes. They certainly come to a grinding halt. Because it was so tight, we were just crawling along. Low second, just inching our way, hoping there was no bloody big timber hidden in the regrowth. A couple of motorbikes appeared out of the scrub. They were bloody jumped on the pegs and I had to actually turn around and go back to a spot big enough for us to get past, but scared the shit out of them, I think. Probably scared the poop out of us as well. This area around Basalt Knob on Ritchie's Road has been cooked. The fires 2019, 2020, and it's transformed the bush. It's killed all the ash. It's just a forest of ghosts now, grey ghosts. It's hard to imagine in our lifetime it ever looking like a nice forest again, given how slow these trees respond or how slow they grow. There's certainly plenty of regen. It's thick, you wouldn't want to have to go bushwalking through it, but it's going to be a long time before that's matured and replaces what was here before. It's tough. It's tough to see actually. It's a shame. Dries the forest out big time. Makes it very hot. The forest would have been shady, damp. This elevation, 1400 metres above sea level, it would have been damp and cool. But now the sun just bursts in and dries everything out. That's the Red Caboose. It's a great meeting point. It's on the junction of a couple of roads. You've got Ritchie's Road coming along here, you've got Basalt North coming in here. A bit further up you've got Basalt South heading down the hill, down to Talbotville, down to the Crooked River. And this is, well, it's the replica, if you like, of the Red Caboose, a shelter being built following the demise in the 1925s of the original Red Caboose, which was positioned just over here away. It's, yes, Forest Fire Management Victoria have built this with the local Dargo crews just to replace what was burnt down, but also to acknowledge that this is a pretty significant spot. It's a meeting point on a crossroads, and it's a natural spot to pull up and have a breather, but I'm thinking it's also a natural spot to pull up and take a dump. There's bloody poo tickets everywhere. Now this makes me think about, is this a phenomena? Because there's thousands of hectares of bush around here, and people have got to go and take a dump here in the shelter, behind the shelter, next to the shelter. You know, you don't have to go too far out the back here and you're in the bush. So I'm just wondering what the issue is there. Is it the fact that we're scared of the bush? We don't want to stray too far? Is it the fact we actually don't know how to go take a dump in the bush? Or is it that we're entitled and we just don't give a shit? Not sure. Leave us a comment, let us know what you reckon the problem is. You know, I'm not going to go and take too close a look, but there's poo tickets everywhere. And step behind the hut and it's like the local shitter. Let me know your thoughts. And a great spot. Basalt Knob this is. There's a bit of a high point just out the back here, just off the road, which is the Basalt Knob itself. There's a few new facilities being put in, a couple of fireplaces and picnic tables there. There's one in the shelter as well. Yeah, it's a bit of flat country. It was origins go back to the logging era, and it was a logging camp here. And the Red Caboose is an old ice carriage from the railways, dates back to about the 1890s-ish, and it was dragged up, set up a logging camp here. It's a long way from anywhere. Ritchie's Road, it's the best part of 30-35 k's out to the Dargo High Plains Road. You've still got a number of k's to go to get down in the Talbotville and Crooked River area, and I think we're going to do that. We were going to go down Basalt, but it's getting a bit bloody hot, and to be honest, I'm not quite sure we could be bothered, so we're just going to wander around. Brewery Creek Road takes us to the same point. It's a little bit easier, a little bit quicker as well. Mum's Bistro's just put on a spread. We got a ham and salad wrap. I'm dragging the chain, everyone's getting into theirs. Some people have already polished theirs off. Ritchie's Road was graded about 12 months ago, and it's holding up pretty well actually. It's a pretty good nick, so it's an easy drive. You know, you're a long way from the main roads out here, so it's probably not getting too many people just wandering for the sake of wandering. They're on a mission. They're going probably to Talbotville to Blue Rag. They do a circuit, I suppose, out of Talbotville, up Brewery Creek and back down Basalt or vice versa. But Ritchie's Road's probably not all that popular from a recreation point of view, tourist point of view, but it's incredibly important from a strategic access point of view for firefighting, because it just opens up so much country. It's a road rather than a track, so by all accounts, when it's in this condition, they can get large floats and heavy machinery right out into this country to be able to respond to fires. A long way from home though out here. So you change the side of the range, so you've got the drainage of the Wongungara off to the west here, and very remote river, the Wongungara. There's only a couple of spots that's accessible, and one of them's off the Blue Rag itself, track one way in and out of Blue Rag down in the Wongungara. There's another spot further down here, Wongungara track, it's again in and out. But yeah, very, very remote country. You come around the south side of the hills and the forest hasn't burnt, or hasn't burnt as hard. It's still greenery, it's still canopy. You can actually feel the temperature drop. So we just turned off onto Brewery Creek Road. It's just, it's a bit too warm and we want to get down the river and chillax, so decided to go the slightly easier route, and it's all new country to the family, so it didn't matter which way we go. But tell you what, whoever graded the road, hats off to you. That was a good road, great drive. I think I know who did it, but hats off to you. Great road. This area out here at the intersection of these tracks is the tablelands. It's steeped in logging history. Pretty flat, it's almost like a plateau, tablelands. No doubt there was a lot of timber pulled out of here in its day, hence why Ritchie's Road is here, why it's such a good road, be able to get the jinkers through. At the far end, at the High Plains end of Ritchie's Road, there's some pretty exciting switchbacks. Getting a modern jinker around these days might be a challenge, but I think the single axle trailers of the day probably just slewed around easy enough. Anyway, we push on Brewery Creek Road down into Talbotville, and I suspect we won't find Solitude there. Dead rabbit, pretty fresh too. Hey, we might grab that. Think about whoever put these roads in the day, big side cut roads on the side of a mountain that's very, very steep, and they've just poked around the side of the mountain, followed a grade line. What an era that would have been. It's all to do with timber. Well, this is our third night, and we've managed to find some Solitude. There's no one else around. We've got the swag rolled out up the bank there. We've got a beautiful stretch of river here. We've even got the water toys out. Mum's got the noodle and the young bloke's got the goggles and snorkel out. It's a pretty special spot when you can get the water toys out. So this is a spot downstream of the confluence of the Wongungar and the Crooked River, and the river water height increases significantly after that confluence. Upstream at Talbotville, where you're just on the Crooked River itself, you're lucky to get the water over your ankles, and there's a lot of people there trying to get the water over their ankles. There's a lot of people queuing up at the dunny too. So we're only a few k's downstream, got the place to ourselves, so tick, another night of Solitude. Oh, so far. The road is just back up here, not far, so with the way the wind's blowing we shouldn't get dusted out. Birds, kookaburras. We just had a golden whistler or something similar poking around us here. Didn't see too many of them at Talbotville. What a great spot. As you can see, the river's awesome. Plenty of water coming down it at the moment, and it's not cold. It was 34 degrees as we were driving along here, and it felt it too. In fact, at Talbotville, when you drop down off the flats just out of the wind, it felt like the temperature went up 3 or 4 degrees. It was like an oven, very hot. Here we've got a breeze, we got shade on the waterhole. I reckon we've done all right for ourselves. Quite early, but it's up to about 18 degrees, 7 o'clock. Don't do it too often, but we were able to have all the canvas windows zipped right open last night, all night. Just laying out there, it's like under a tarp. Unobstructed views of the forest and the river. Pretty good when you can do that. Yeah, we just can't seem to do it too often. We did this time. We've just got the fire going. Billies are on. Don't have a lot planned today. Really, it's just wander up the hill and we're cooked. We're done. And the reason we're doing that is because we probably will be cooked. It's going to get very hot today. Happens to be our last day on the track, so we're probably going to wander into town and have a counter attack and crank the air conditioning up and wander home. We've managed to do everything we wanted to do on this trip, and that was camp by a river and have a great river campsite with a swimming hole. Well, I've done that twice. We wanted to camp up high and have a great campsite with a view. We've done that. The main objective was to be able to camp in solitude on our own on the busiest week of the year in the high country. Tick, we've done it. We haven't had to go too far out of our way. In fact, we haven't gone out of our way. We went exactly where we wanted to go, knowing they would be a popular spot, but we're able to make ourselves secluded in those spots, have our own space and not be on top of everyone. So we'll probably park this video up there. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video. It was a great opportunity for us to get out a bit of a window. Often don't have too much free time this time of the year. Thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give us a thumbs up. If you haven't already done so, hit the subscribe button and share it amongst your networks, that'd be great. And leave a comment down below if you can, that'd be awesome. We'll try and respond to all the comments. If you haven't already done so, head over to, we've got a Facebook page as well, Paul Brooker Journey, and we throw a bit of stuff up there every now and again. Probably not regular, but like this channel really. And I'll try and have something out every 3 weeks. We're not doing quite that at the moment, just because of interruptions, life getting in the way. Trying to do a few other bits and pieces as well. A few renos going on at home and work gets in the way. Anyway, that's life, isn't it? Anyway, if you do nothing else, make sure you look after yourself and we'll catch you next time. See ya.